So Donald Trump is announcing that his failed former lawyer, Alina Habba, is going to be White House counsel, his personal lawyer. This is wild. Trump posting to Truth Central, quote, "I am pleased to announce that Alina Habba will join my White House team as counselor to the president. Alina has been a tireless advocate for justice, a fierce defender of the rule of law, and an invaluable advisor to my campaign and transition team. She has been unwavering in her loyalty and unmatched in her resolve, standing with me through numerous trials, battles, and countless days in court. Few understand the weaponization of the injustice system better than Alina, who has fought relentlessly against the full force of lawfare with courage and an unshakable commitment to justice. As a first-generation American of Middle Eastern heritage, she has become a role model for women in law and politics, most recently being named Chaldean Woman of the Year. Congratulations to Alina, her husband Greg, and her 3 beautiful children, Chloe, Luke, and Parker." We suspected Alina Habba was going to have some kind of role. Now, months ago, Alina Habba's name was being floated as possibly the Attorney General. Of course, that would be laughably humiliating. But is Pam Bondi as Attorney General that much better? I don't know. But Trump ended up steering away from Alina Habba AG. Then Alina Habba was considered to be press secretary for Donald Trump. And ultimately, she did not get that role either. That one going to Caroline Leavitt, who I believe is going to be the youngest press secretary ever. So Alina Habba ends up as counsel to the president. If you want to look at this in a positive light, you could argue she would do less damage in that role. I don't know that that's really accurate. I think as counsel to the president, you can give the president what he may believe is good legal advice to go ahead and do absolutely horrible things. Whereas as press secretary, yes, you are a cog in the propaganda wheel, but you arguably could do less damage as press secretary than as lawyer for the president. So this is a very concerning nomination. Now, selection. Getting less attention, but also interesting, is that Michael Anton has been nominated by Trump to be director of policy planning at the State Department. This is another Project 2025 guy. This is yet another link to Project 2025. Donald Trump announcing this by saying, quote, "Michael Anton will become director of policy planning at the State Department. Michael served me loyally," that's what matters, "loyally and effectively at the National Security Council in my first term. He has an extensive background in government, the private sector, and academia. I thought academia sucked and it wasn't a credential anymore. He spent the last 8 years explaining what an America First foreign policy truly means. Of course, Trump continuing to insist he has nothing to do with Project 2025. But now the number of Project 2025 connected people that Donald Trump has nominated, selected, or hired is over a dozen at last count. So Project 2025 is going to play a major role in this administration. Clueless people that Trump hired, either because he likes the way they look or they are brown-nosing loyalists like Alina Habba, they will play a major role in this administration. What we're lacking is genuinely competent people who can bring expertise forward to maybe achieve something that will actually benefit the bulk of the American people. It would be nice to have that. So far, we don't. Did you know that countless commercial databases and people search sites are storing your personal information? Anyone, from an employer to a former partner, can use these platforms to get details about your online presence, your home address, phone number, email, license plate, family members, financial information, even political views. Europe has laws that offer some protection, but in the US, the data is widely accessible. Even the FBI will buy this information from companies to spy on people without a search warrant. Our sponsor, Incogni, provides a solution. It takes just seconds to sign up, and Incogni will send removal requests to all of the major data brokers, legally compelling them to get rid of your data. Incogni keeps you informed throughout the process. You'll get real-time updates, who has complied, which ones are still pending. They'll handle follow-ups, they'll handle appeals on your behalf, and this will save you hundreds of hours. Very few people have the time or resources to do this on their own. This service can also reduce the number of spam calls and emails you get, since many solicitors and scammers get your information from these very same sources. Go to incogni.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman for 60% off. The link is below.